So Brian Cashman spoke to the media today, and he had some comments that I think just frankly made him look foolish. He spoke to the Athletic, and this says Brian Cashman, Yankees in World Series drought because of, quote, illegal and horrific actions by the Astros. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about 2017 yet again. Still ongoing. Here we are in 2022. So Cashman's quote says, the only thing that stopped us was something that was so illegal and horrific. So I get offended when I start hearing we haven't been to the World Series since '09. Because I'm like, well, I think we actually did it in the right way. Pulled it down, brought it back up, drafted well, traded well, developed well, signed well. The only thing that derailed us was a cheating circumstance that threw us off. Part of that sentence is true. They did it in quote unquote the right way. Obviously, there's multiple ways to win a championship, but they pulled it down. If he's calling pulling it down at the 2016 deadline when they traded Chapman and Miller and Beltran, ironically, then yeah, you pulled it down. It wasn't exactly like a tear down like the Astros did for a decade, finishing in last place. But yeah, they pulled it down. They brought it back up. They outperformed expectations in 2017. They got to the ALCS. No one thought they were going to get that far. Drafted well, traded well, sure. Developed well, yep. Signed well, and yeah, that Jacoby Ellsbury signing was just top notch. The only thing that derailed us was a cheating circumstance that threw us off. Okay, I mean, and then he goes on. People are like, oh, we haven't been to the World Series. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's as true a statement as it could be. We had a World Series team, and either you get it done or you don't. I'm not going to rehash too much what happened in the 2017 ALCS because the fact of the matter is the Yankees did not hit in Houston, and that is, I think, the number one reason why they did not win that series. They hit in Yankee Stadium. They hit the Astros pitching in Yankee Stadium. They didn't hit the Astros pitching in Houston. But really, that doesn't freaking matter. The thing that pisses me off about these comments is that it continues to prove that they have felt they were doing everything correctly the last 4 years, even though they did not get to the World Series. They lost in 2017. Fine. Yeah, they got cheated. Maybe. They were still had to get by the Dodgers, who were a juggernaut. 2018, they seemingly added more talent to the roster, namely Giancarlo Stanton, and they got worse. They got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Then 2019, probably the best season of the last few years, won the division, got back to the ALCS, but they got their butts kicked in that ALCS. 2020, throw it out if you want, fine. Without the expanded playoffs, they don't make the postseason in 2020, so they got even worse. That's after adding the number one pitcher on the planet, Garrett Cole. Then 2021 was a complete disaster. The team sucked. Okay, flat out sucked. They were a mediocre baseball team that, barring I think it was an 11 game or 12 game win streak in August, would have missed the playoffs. And then they got crushed in the wild card game. So the team has regressed year after year after year. Yet Brian Cashman's walking around thinking we have World Series team. We're doing everything correctly. I'm not going to look in the mirror and actually try and identify things that are wrong. No, I think we're doing it right. We should be there. We're good enough to be there. Let's just not really try to identify why we haven't got there. And that's what pisses me off about this. Now, maybe he finally did that this offseason. Got rid of Gary Sanchez, traded away Luke Voit, moved on from Gio Urshela, brought in some more defense on the left side of the infield. But, I mean, I like that the team is different. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're World Series favorites. But it's just this air of our shit don't stink. From Cashman, from the players, from Aaron Boone, these last few years, as we watch the results on the field be bad, that is what pisses me off. And I think that is why fans today are so angry at these Brian Cashman comments, because they're not owning up to their mistakes. They're still blaming their failures on the 2017 Astros. Maybe that's true. Maybe they would have won that series. Maybe they would have beat the Dodgers. And then who knows? Maybe that's the birth of a new dynasty. But the fact of the matter is, you got worse in 2018. You didn't get it done in 2019. You got a hell of a lot worse in 2020 and 2021. we'll see what happens in 2022.